fredastaire. Dance, dance, dance.
I am here today with someone who is near and dear to our hearts, Karyn Miller. She is a confidant, a supermom, loving wife, leader in and outside of her work environment, American rhythm champion, and need I say more? Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Fred Talk. I am so excited to be here today. I am your host, Devin Nicole. I am a professional ballroom dancer, an owner of the fredastaire dance studio in Marlboro, entrepreneur, and inspired to grow and help others grow through the tool of dance. Karyn, we have spent so much time talking and getting to know one another on and off the ballroom floor, and I must say, which I believe you already know, but we think you are absolutely amazing. We also know that the woman sitting in front of us today is a little different than the woman who walked through our doors. Exactly. Actually, we talked about this last night, a year and almost a month ago. Can we begin with you just sharing with others perhaps who you were when you walked through our doors, what was happening in your life at that time, and the steps that were necessary for you to take in order to find alignment and self-fulfillment?
Long story. We're going to be here for a long time.
I'm ready. I have my coffee.
Well, firstly, I want to thank you for that beautiful introduction. And it's funny how we just talked earlier about, the stumbles and trips and, the backflips that got me to this point right now that I'm currently in and probably won't stay. It's a journey.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure I say that, this has been an incredible journey of, ups and downs and highs, lows, and as you get older, you have the ability to identify those ups and downs sooner to make your trip a little bit, just even keel as you continue through life's journey. But a year ago was a rough spot, and I think that it's relatable to, I personally think, a lot of women. Of course, COVID was thrown in there, but I think it was even deeper than that. I think we can find that way even outside of a pandemic to get ourselves to a low point. And women tend to over-invest in everyone else and forget about themselves. And I personally was in that spot. I had started a new career. I was building a new business for a company, a startup company, and I put all of me into that company. And then I put whatever I could possibly get left out of me into my husband and my children. And there was nothing invested in me. And there was a point of discovery, where I just said, where is joy? And it was a lot of conversation inside and outside, and what makes you happy, Karyn? What makes you happy? And I'm lucky enough at this stage of the game to have some people around to talk about that, to find what makes me happy, but more thinking internally, looking internally, and exploring, going on a quest. And I will challenge everyone to go on that quest for joy and just feel and experience to figure out what that is. So
Beautiful. And I know, Karyn, so we love talking to you because we steal you before, after your lessons, and Saturdays when you're here. By the way, everyone, Karyn dances with us quite often. This is her second home. So we've been able to engage in a lot of conversation, and that's why we really want to talk with you today and have you a part of our Fred Talk, because we feel that your journey is profound, and we feel that you are just a superwoman, and you balance it all, and you make it look effortless. And I think the reason you make it look so effortless is because you've come to this place where you're like, I'm feeling great myself, so I'm ready to take on my day. I'm ready to drive my kids to all these different sports practices. I'm ready to, spend time with my husband. I'm ready to do all these things because you have a completely different mindset, and allows you to take on what was once maybe challenges,
yes,
which is now just a part of your daily routine, but you prefer for it to be a part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
And so Karyn, if it's all right, I know that when you were first here, a year ago, you were juggling a lot in your life, like you are today, but we see you handling it very differently now. For instance, a year ago, I know you would come in for your lesson and you would run out the door and I'd say, hey, Karyn, when are we seeing you next? And you'd say, I'll give you a call. Because you were it was hard for your mind to fully be here.
Yes.
So the minute your dance lesson was up, you're like, what do I have to get done? What do I have to do? And you ran to that. Rightfully so. We feel that. We feel that anxiousness because we have a lot on our plates.
Yeah.
And so now you even give extra time and energy to us, which we're incredibly thankful for because it's allowed for us to gain an amazing friendship and to get to know you and your family a lot more. Yeah. And we're grateful for that as well. But can you just share, last year you were at a different job. Yeah. And I feel like when you started taking on something that you're like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel myself again, but maybe even better. And I feel like it allowed you to make different choices in your life where I don't just want to feel good here. I want to feel good here too. And I want to feel good here. Yeah. And then you started making drastic changes. Yeah. Can you share that with everyone? Because I'm sure so many people who are listening are like, oh my gosh, I find it to be a hassle being motivated to get to my job. Or I find it to be a hassle to be, motivated to, I don't know, wake up early and make my kids breakfast. It could be anything. Can you share that with us? Because that was a huge change this past year. And that was a huge change also within yourself and your glow.
Oh, yeah. I love that glow. So we go back to the very beginning of this, the intro here. And, invest in yourself. You are worth it. And go back to another thing that I said earlier about women in particular, I believe, think that their worth comes from giving all of them to someone else. What I've discovered, and I knew in the past, I had little glimpses of that as I've, come through this path as a mom, as an employee, that it's all about time. And I don't mean an investment of money necessarily in something. Investment of time and investing wisely with your time. And what became abundantly clear to me this year, and is the tool that I will take throughout the rest of my life and pay it forward, is the investment in yourself and that quality time for yourself just spreads. And you are able to do everything else with joy. You are centered, you're joyful in yourself, and you can pay that forward to your husband, to your children, to your employees. You are a better you. You are more of you to contribute. So it's quality investment of your time. And therefore I spend more time being joy to myself because I'm noticing, wait, I need more dance because this is my joy. I need more dance because the more I'm getting of this, the more I'm spreading more joy. Look at this opportunity that I have with you guys this morning. And thank you for that. I feel this is my duty. This discovery, this part of my journey is my duty to pay it forward to other people that are in this spot. And there's a lot of people in this spot right now. A lot.
Karyn, I know that you, from talking in the past, you mentioned that the most successful times in your career have been attributed to the stages that you have committed to self-care and living an active lifestyle. And so did someone help you, or was it yourself that you're like, I'm calling fredastaire? Because I know for you, and right, we spoke about last night, everyone has their different passion. Yeah. And like you said, it could be yoga, skiing, anything, your exact words. But for you, it's dance. And dance goes way back for you. Like dance, I think, even right now, you guys can't see her face, but saying the word dance, she's melting. And, you're happy because it brings upon this feeling of, I think, instant peace for you. And so what helped you take the step, especially being as busy as you are, because that's the biggest excuse we can use. I don't have time. I don't have time. So for you, you said, no, I don't have time, which is why I need it most. What helped you call us? What helped you step through our doors and get started dancing here to create that you time?
So I think it was that quest for joy. And there's a few things involved in that. I went into this place of internal focus and went, okay, how do I climb out of this hole that I'm in? I'm eating badly. I'm not taking care of myself because I'm taking care of everyone else and every other thing. So it was the quest for what is making me feel good. So there's a moment, and I'm going to, I guess, talk about my friend Maria.
We love Maria.
And so it was a surprise 40th birthday that we had for her. And we had a salsa dancer there. Her husband, she's Colombian, so this is a part of her childhood. This is a part of her core. And the sheer joy on her face, sharing her love, her salsa dancing, her culture with everyone else at that party was just amazing. And I realized this was my upbringing too. I grew up dancing. You've seen videos of my parents disco dancing, and those were times of joy. And I realized this is in my heart, this is in my soul, and I need to find a way to it. And salsa gets me to ballroom, gets me to Fred Astaire, gets me to Devin and Christian, and Andy and Joe, and this family that is joy, pure joy.
And Maria, if you're listening, we love you for that, because we met this amazing woman through you, being inspired just through someone doing what's, feels natural and cultural, and not realizing that you're displaying such joy and happiness that people are like, oh my gosh, I want to look like that. I want to feel like that.
I want to feel like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I want to feel like that.
But we talked about this too, is that yes, I do have people supporting me. I do have a good family. I have great friends, but this is something that is your own personal power. And we talked yesterday too about, well, what if people don't have a supportive family? What if people don't have a supportive husband or spouse or significant other or parent, which is hard, right? What if people don't have that? Well, it's not necessarily just them. And it was Maria at a party. It could be the cashier that's nasty to you that day. But there are signs from the universe. I'm a big God, believer in God. And universe, God, whatever you want to call it, whatever is your power, there are signs that are there for you. You just open your eyes. When you're at the lowest point, open your eyes. Just open your eyes. Open one and feel, acknowledge. And they're all there to help you grow. So,
we love talking to you. We love listening to you speak. We love your story, because everyone has one. And the thing is, you have right away we see, it's almost like in dancing, right? We see that world champion. I want to be there. Yeah. Right? Or, for our students, they see other, students who are just amazing at what they do. And you go instantly, I want to be there. Yeah. And so for, if looking just from the outside, Karyn, I mean, the position you're in life, it's beautiful. For me, I want to be there. However, there's so many things that you stumbled over to get there. And what we spoke about, previously, when we were, kind of chatting before chatting, we were talking about how you hold so many different roles. Yeah. But each role was a journey. Yeah. That you said some kind of correlated into one another and assisted, but other than that, it was a journey to obtain each title you have, to fulfill the roles you're fulfilling now. And so I want to ask, and I'd love for you to share with everyone, very well, being a competitor, Karyn competes in American rhythm dancing, and there's a lot of challenges when you get to that competitive realm of ballroom. It's you're taking things on differently. And you have to take it, head on, because you have a partnership. Yeah. And it's not just yourself, and you have to show up for your partner. You have to communicate with your partner, and it's very different. We have to be very selfish but selfless at the same time while we're on that floor, because we have to do what we need to do, right, which is the selfish part, which is good, we're showing up, but then we need to be a little bit selfless, meaning all right, there's challenges I'm facing right now, and if it were up to me, I would put it on hold, and I would take a minute from this, maybe go in, maybe for you it's maybe I'm not going to do this competition, but hold up, I have a partner who's showing up for that competition too, so I need to show up.
That's leadership, by the way.
And with that, Karyn, with those, qualities, those characteristics that are not necessarily being learned on the floor, but strengthened, because they need to be. It's the only way you can grow in ballroom. Yeah. You need to have strength in, like you said, that leadership, that trust, all those qualities we speak about. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that we really encourage our students to, face these head on, is because we want you to take it outside of these doors. We want it to make you a better you. So it's ballroom dancing, and it's making you look amazing on the dance floor, but hopefully it's making you look even more beautiful outside of these doors in any environment that you're in. So can you please share with us, is this something that you've taken into your home, into your personal relationships, into your work environment? And if so, can you please share that with us?
Yeah, 100%. And you guys were involved in that. I'll give the first example of when I made a career change. By the grace of God, that was voluntary in the middle of COVID, right? But I made a career change, and it was a big one for me. It was part of my journey back to myself and what I truly love doing. And I started to dance, with Christian, and I'm listening to the words he's telling me, and I'm realizing these are words that I need. These are words that I need to continue to build in my life, but with my new team. And this is how I'm going to lead. I'm leading with Christian's words. And it's his words and his actions. It's trust and teamwork and leadership. And honestly, I had a full day offsite with my team, and so grateful that I had you guys as part of that, because your outside experience is a foundation of other things that you do. And my outside experience of dance is in my everyday life. These words of trust, teamwork, and leadership in my partnership with Christian as we're competing, we're preparing for competition, and are so critical to us being one as a team and on our own journey at work to be successful. And you need those three foundational words. I need those three foundational words in dance. I also need those three foundational words raising children. And it's also about being relevant to my kids. Me competing with all three of my kids in sports. My daughter's a competitive dancer. My sons are all in travel and very competitive baseball and basketball. I'm relatable to my 17-year-old daughter and to my 15-year-old son that's an athlete. My God, I mean, that's epic. And them being proud of hanging with their mom, because my mom knows that my body movement, she knows exactly why my body movement is going to make me a better baseball player. My mom understands that my nutrition is going to make me a better athlete. My mom knows that, this body movement, this leverage in my pitching arm is going to, because I relate to my kids. And my little 8-year-old, oh my God, he's just that deeper emotional part. He is beyond his years, like you two, beyond his years and knowledge and emotional intelligence. And, me bringing dance into his life too, which he loves. I think he's my dancer.
Hopefully, put him in here. I'll be his partner.
I think he's my dancer, but he's also a great athlete. But bringing that into my children's life, and then also my husband, and probably most importantly my husband, right? Because he's my life partner, and me not being happy within myself, I couldn't give back to him the way he was so deserved of. So me being joyful for myself makes me and helps me bring joy to him. And that's a bigger relationship. And we conquer more as a couple now. Now we have 3 kids running in 3 states. I'm competing in dance, and he's just all of his hobbies and his cooking and all of this. We're got it all held down because we're happy. You know, each of us individually is fulfilling ourselves to be there for each other.
That is the ultimate family dynamic goal. And it's something that everyone wants. Who doesn't want that? To go home to a peaceful home and to go home.
It's not always peaceful. But we fight with passion.
Absolutely. There's still always a lot of love. Always.
Yes, always.
And that leads me to actually that Karyn once came and she would give herself maybe 45 minutes a week here. I mean, there were times that you're like, my schedule's too crazy, I can't make it this week. And that's natural. We get that a lot. Yeah. Because your alone time is not priority yet. And we know that for anyone new who walks through these doors. We know this is not their priority. And so we have to make them feel the benefit so they understand. They understand that this feeling is something you deserve and it's something that you should get at least weekly. Yeah. Yes? So for you, maybe once a week we saw you, 45 minutes, right? And then it's like after this pandemic, you know, when we opened our doors again, you started coming in, I think, you know, twice a week. Yeah. Because you started, you know, you're a little bit competitive. You like self-growth. I mean, and that's just a little bit, right? And then you started coming in like twice a week. Yeah. And then Christian said, I see you doing this. You need to learn this. And in your head, you go, okay, how? What's my new schedule, right? Because you're a planner, naturally. That's why you're so successful in so many things, and you can tackle all these, you know, you're a planner. And so then we start seeing you maybe 3 times, 4 times. Guys, we see Karyn, I think 6 times a week, and sometimes she stays with us for like an hour and a half dancing, okay? So you have literally made this a huge priority, but I feel like the more you did this, right, the more things fell into place outside of here. Actually, and I used to, you know, I like to meditate, and I used to read things like, the busier you get, the more you should meditate, right? And so I think of it as the same thing as dance. The busier you get, the more you should dance. Now for you, Karyn, you had the biggest excuse to stop dancing for like a month at least. Oh, yeah. Your father passed.
Yes.
And you danced, I think, if not more. And so you had, right? We're talking about the rainbows and the sunshine, but you had a big storm. Yeah. How did this help you grieve and to be there for your mother, for your siblings, for your children, right? Because as a mother, we try, you know, you try to be, I say we try. I have cats, that's about it.
Okay.
As a mother, you're selfless, right? And you need to almost act like you're not hurting so you can be there for the rest of your family and pick them up because that's what matters most. But no, you have to let yourself grieve. You have to let yourself feel these negative emotions. But tell me, how were you able to be there for yourself first, which allowed for you to be there for your family at the time where you lost someone near and dear?
I think I was fortunate. You know, it was actually that year ago that this journey started for my dad too. I think his deterioration. And, you know, I'm lucky enough that I think I started dance during that time, and it was part of me building my strength. Things happen for a reason. You know, it was part of me building my strength as an individual because I knew there was something hard coming. And it wasn't a front. I didn't know that. I mean, my dad has had up and downs for 12 years, but, you know, I think it's just taking the time to build my strength, and I felt stronger every class that I had. I felt stronger, stability, just this ability, this clarity. And even during the time he's going through this, I would invest the time in dance to get my clarity, it's a time investment, right? It's that quality time investment to get clear, to get strong, and to know what your direction needs to be when you walk back out that door. But it's really, dance, you have no choice, but I have no choice but to be there and do that step with Christian. There's nothing that can occupy my mind but that, especially the competitive dancer part. And I'm still learning that. I'm not perfect at that. You know that, Christian.
No, but she's amazing, and she'll be competing in 2 weeks. So make sure you follow us on our social media handles and check this lady out because she's working her booty off, literally.
Yeah, that's a little side benefit. But it's just that strength and clarity that got me through that time and continues to get me through that time, because the struggle's not over when someone passes.
Right.
And get yourself whole to help other people,
I love that. Get yourself whole to help other people.
Yeah. It's hard to see that. It's so hard to see that because you will be criticized by the outside world. She's off doing her thing,
Right.
And society says, oh, well, that's a woman's role, is to help everyone else. It's not to bring joy to herself, but they're missing the point.
Yes.
They're missing the point. Stop what society's saying or what you think society's saying. Society is saying, wants you to fail, but you don't want to fail, right? And you're not going to fail if you do what's right in your heart.
Right.
That's all in there. You just have to listen to it, right? And then that strength, that inner strength, is that joy. And I'm going to talk about God again, but
No, please.
God wants you to be joyful. That's what he wants. He's going to take you on this journey, right? But he wants you to be joyful. If you don't listen to God, that's fine. If that's not your thing, listen to me right now, because this is one of those universal signs saying, if you need permission, I'm giving you permission to have joy as a woman, and truly find what that is. Is it really all of your time invested in driving your kids back and forth here and there? Carpool once a week. I know it's hard. I've lived it. I have 3, and I've done that. But invest in yourself. You'll be a better person, and I'm giving you the permission to do that. So, whatever that is worth.
It's worth a lot.
Yeah.
It's worth a lot, because sometimes in life we do things because we are told it's okay.
Yeah.
And that makes us feel better to do it.
Yes.
And so everyone who's listening, follow this woman's advice. You've been through turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
And you are shining. And so at the end of it, you come through what we were talking about last night after your lesson.
Yeah.
And we were talking, you were saying that after your darkest of days is when you glow the brightest.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I love that.
And that's what has happened to you, and that's what continues to happen, right? Because like you said earlier, it's something that is ever changing, right? We're going through and we're facing challenges constantly. But and as a result, if we learn from it, and
Yes.
that's where
Learn
we
from
grow.
it. That is exactly it.
That's where we
That
grow.
is exactly it. It's not wasted. It's not a wasted sorrow or grief or pain if you learn from it. There's a reason you're going through this, and it's to be even better than you were before. Just knowing that, it's there for a reason. You don't know what it is yet. You don't know why. You don't know what the growth experience is, but it's coming. It's coming, and you're going to be even better coming out of it. So
That's motivational. It's motivational for me. Very much, and I know you're motivating everyone who's listening as well, and that's the purpose of this too, is because listening to people who go through, like you're saying so many things that, and it's all these people listening, they're gonna be like, oh my God, that's me, I'm going through that has happened, And so, you saying, I survived through self-fulfillment and me time and doing something that lights my soul on fire. I mean, hopefully that give people the initiative to do something that sets their soul on fire, because you're deserving of that. We have so many people who walk through our doors and they go, oh, when I was a kid, when I was younger. And they light up when they talk about it, but you can light up about it now.
Yeah, you should.
You have the rest of your life.
You should.
You should, absolutely. Karyn, I have another goal for you. I want you to share. What is your goal? We know with dancing, you're unstoppable. All right, we have big goals for this lady, going to nationals and doing amazing things. So please track her growth through, like I said, our social media handles. We brag about all of our amazing students. And so I want to know, what is your goal, though, to grow? And if you could have one word, if you can, it might be hard. If you can have one word, something to describe you. All right, this woman is full of blank, or for you, I am full of blank. What is that? Kind of like nirvana you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be?
So, there is one word, and I have it, and there's a vision attached to it that is molding, grace.
Grace.
And it is just everything that I want to be, and it's not just physical, right? There's grace in dance, right? But there's grace in your soul. There's grace in your relationships with others. I just want to be that older woman that is that stoic, graceful, empowered, enlightened, soulful, gray-haired individual that can just bring that peace, that calm, that stoic, that giving back place. And so that's my journey. That's my journey. That's my end spot. And it's going to take a long time to get there. Yeah, every day is another decision to get there. We talked about those 3 words that I got from dance. If there's that word as my goal and my guiding light, that would be the word.
Well, you're on that path, and you being here today and talking about these experiences and just, in your own words, what has ignited you to do something to bring light and joy to yourself, and how that has changed your path? Because when you bring about this new feeling within, you have an entirely new path, right? You can have a path where you walk on that's full of love and joy and motivation, and then you can have this path that you make decisions based off of anxiousness and sadness and desperation, and it leads you to two different final spots. So you're on that spot, you're on that path, because you being here today and talking about this, I mean, your goal is to give back, your goal is to enlighten people. I mean, you're doing that now. You do that when you talk to us. So, Karyn, is there anything you'd recommend to our listeners who perhaps need a word of encouragement if they haven't gotten enough already, or to assist them to take their first step towards investing in themselves, right? Like we said, investing is not financial. It can be just being wise with time, but so that they can be the best version for themselves, but also for those who surround them.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about that person that was me a year ago, and we talked about this and your deepest, darkest place, right? I'm going to challenge you to open one eye. Look at the signs the universe is giving you. It wants you to have joy. Start your quest. Just your quest for joy. Feel. If you have your cup of coffee in the morning and you love it as you're looking out the window, and that's joy, feel what joy is and let yourself have it. And then figure out what that activity is or that thing is, and invest. If it's baking, making a cupcake, making a cake, if it's skiing, if it's whatever your soul feels, just recognize it. And then start your path by making that first step. Like, call fredastaire. or call, a ski instructor. Or just sit for 30 minutes with your cup of coffee and allow yourself that time and that joy with yourself to acknowledge everything around you. That's it.
Again, everyone, this is Karyn Miller, inspiring you and I to invest in ourselves because, hey, we are so worth it. My goal is to highlight all of the influential and inspiring people in and around our Marlboro community. We are inspired to inspire others and ask you to set a goal for yourself this week. How are you investing in yourself? Take your time to think about this and do this without judgment. Life gets crazy and sometimes we lose sight of our own well-being to ensure the well-being of others. Dance stimulates the mind and body in ways you could not imagine. We ask that you dedicate 30 minutes to yourself this week, whether it be to sit and, like Karyn said, thoroughly enjoy a cup of coffee, go for a run, read a good book, or come into our fredastaire dance studio and dance with us for an introductory 30-minute lesson.
Dancing cheek to cheek. Dancing cheek to cheek.
We will leave you with this, our motto. Do things now that your future self will thank you for.